Hey guys, this is Tom Mascara, and I am the founder and CEO of Fentanyl. I've been wanting to put together a little volunteer orientation. Kind of had a lot of stuff get in the way, so I'm happy to be able to finally provide this. I am recording this that way we can share this anytime we get some new volunteers. Basically, we're going to be talking about what it means to be a volunteer, how to you know. Talk about fentanyl, some of the types of volunteer opportunities we have, etc. So I do want to get into it, and you guys can email me or text me or however you want to contact me. You can reach out with questions, and we're gonna get right into it. So let me just share the screen here. All right, let me switch this up here. There we go. Much better. All right. So basically, um, right into it, right? First, you got to know who you're volunteering for. If you're going to volunteer with us, I want you to know a little bit about our organization. Our organization was founded in 2023, um, and we are focused on harm reduction. Our mission is to save lives, right? To lessen the risk of substance use through harm reduction and provide recovery support to individuals who ask for assistance, right? So we're not pushing recovery on anybody that is not asking for that. If they are looking for help, absolutely. But other than that, we're looking to save lives through harm reduction, right? Giving out supplies, street outreach, overdose prevention training, and then if they do need extra resources, we can provide the right linkage to that, right? And so that's our main goal, our main mission of Fentanyl. Um, meet people where they're at, right? And so, what is a volunteer? Basically, somebody that is gonna be on our team, right, providing their time and skill and experience to help us. And for the most part, it's gonna be free, but you're gonna get experience through this work. Um, and we hope that you get a full experience through this. I know it's a very giving type of experience. You'll be meeting a lot of different types of people, whether they have substance use disorder, whether they don't have substance use disorder, whether they're families, whether they're people experiencing homelessness. We're going to come across a lot of people along the way, and we appreciate you choosing to volunteer with us, and open up your eyes to see what else is going on and gain some experience. We do reserve the right to terminate any volunteer at any time that does not adhere to any of our principles. And, we haven't had to do that as far. It has to be something really serious for that to happen. But we definitely want you to, um, you know, come and be respectful and, treat people accordingly. Um, as representatives of fentanyl, it's essential that you demonstrate highest level of respect and professionalism, right? So respect all our people we serve. Have a smile on your face. Sometimes we're going to come across some difficult situations. You may see some difficult things. Try to be compassionate and meet people where they're at. Some people may be experiencing mental health issues. Some people will have substance use disorder. Try to be compassionate and meet them where they're at. Um, all the volunteers that come through here, we definitely want you to have taken the overdose prevention training. So if you haven't taken that yet, we want you to know that so you can definitely know how to um, basically teach anybody how to use it briefly. Anybody we encounter, we're gonna be giving out Narcan. They ask how do you use this? How can I um, you know help somebody? We want you to be able to answer these questions. And so definitely want you to take those overdose prevention training. Um, some of the principles that we want to live by while we're doing this, right? Humility, respect, patience, boundaries, and compassion, right? Don't come in here thinking you know how to do everything, right? There's a lot we're going to learn, a lot, not only about, harm reduction, but about people in general and people's circumstances as to how to they got to where they are at. Not everybody um, has a substance use disorder or has mental health issues. Some other issues may arise, but having respect and understanding that everybody, you know, was someplace and now there's some other place, and the waves of life can lead us into difficult situations, right? And being compassionate with that, right? And then also setting boundaries in this work. We try to help everybody, but also we have to set boundaries because we cannot uh, help everybody, right? Although we want to, we cannot, and so it may you know drift into our personal lives, and we don't want that to affect our personal lives. And uh, eventually, that what happens is burnout, right? When you take things home and you try to help everybody, you get burnt out because you're not helping yourself. And so we definitely want to teach about that. And there's things that you don't feel comfortable doing, absolutely share that with us. um, you're not required to do anything that you don't feel comfortable doing. And but again, let us know so we can um, be there for you. So some of the opportunities that we have here at F Fentanyl that we do on a regular basis, of course, is the overdose prevention training. We lead those on a weekly basis, right? I am the primary facilitator at the moment, but I absolutely would love if we got some more trainers on board that can be all over town, and whether they're at the university, whether they're at the high school, whether they're at a treatment center, they can provide trainings. And another thing that we are absolutely wanting to do is to provide these trainings in Spanish too. So if you're bilingual and you want to do these trainings, we're happy to have you on board. Um, and so to do that, we'll talk about it in a minute. But you have to have taken the training, as of course, um, to do that. Street outreach, which includes a couple of different kinds of outreach, where some situations will be out in areas like Overtown or South Dade or Liberty City, and giving out hygiene products, right, to people experiencing homelessness or low income communities, right? But also, we're going to be in a different type of outreach where we're out doing street outreach in areas like Miami Beach and Wynwood, where people are living that nightlife, right? And we will be giving out Narcan and stuff like that, and different things along the way that are similar. Health fairs, we'll be doing those on a regular, basically a tabling opportunity. Hygiene kit and Narcan kit creation, right? I'll explain some more social media marketing, administrative, and office stuff, right? And then if you guys got the skills to do some fundraising and grant support, we would love to have that. We definitely need that as well. Let's get right to the training, right? To be a trainer, you definitely have to have taken the training, at least one full training. And then when you feel comfortable enough, right, we want you to shadow a different training. You can kind of maybe take a couple of the slides and learn as you go, and then eventually we'll co-facilitate a training. The goal is to get you on your own and be able to do this on your own. Right? It's not very difficult. It's just getting your style down. Honestly, I don't care if you're good at public speaking or not good at public speaking. It's about getting the information out, right? Um, that's the whole goal, right? I'm not looking for the best speaker or anything like that. I'm looking for somebody that can express and share the information. If you have lived experience or you have a personal story attached to this, right? That means even more so, right? That's important in getting that message out and showing people that this is important, and showing that why you do this, right? So that's important. Um, and everybody's reason why we do this is different, right? I'm not saying you have to have the same as me, but I want to know why, and so that way you can share that, and let people know that um, you're in the fight for this and the purpose you're doing this. Tabling, pretty much one of the easiest things we do at F Fentanyl. We get asked to be at different uh, events, whether it's a health fair, whether it's at a university, um, wherever, they ask us to be there. The answer is usually yes if we have the manpower. And basically, having a table, for the most part, we're going to be having Narcan test strips, and flyers about what we do and how to respond to an overdose, and educational, right? So you would ideally want to know how to use the Narcan and just be um, nice to the folks, and inviting so they can come to the table. And everything we give out is free, right? So just being able to share about our organization and answer any of the questions that they have for the most part. And these are pretty much easy because people come to us. We don't have to go around do anything. We just sit at the table, stand at the table, and um, be inviting so they can come and ask questions and take as much as they want from the table. We have a lot of goodies like stickers and wristbands that we give out, so that encourages people to come to the table. So this is one of the fun things that we do here. So with the outreach, right? Like I said, some of it is going to be in at-risk neighborhoods, low-income neighborhoods where people are experiencing homelessness, um, right? Where people in need of basic needs like hygiene products and food and drinks and clothes and stuff like that. And that's what we'll be passing out along with the Narcan and the test strips and different supplies, right? We will be giving out hygiene products and stuff that people need on from a day-to-day basis, right? Sometimes we'll actually set up a table in an area and people will come to us. Sometimes we'll be on foot, right, with bags or with carts that have with the supplies, and we walk from area to area where there's people located. Sometimes people will be in tents, right? People experiencing homelessness that have tents or they'll have encampments, and we'll go from area to area distributing items to those people and trying to meet them, with what we can provide. The other type of outreach is the nightlife type outreach where we go into um, places where they have a lot of bars and clubs, and we give out Narcan to people directly in the street. So we try to educate them on how it works and the dangers of fentanyl and the dangers of different substances out there. And it is fun as we do it. It's a fun time to go do and pass out stuff like that. Ideal times and places like Wynwood and in Miami Beach. We want to do when spring break is around, when there's a lot of people around, because we know that when there's more people, there's more risk for different types of drugs, and so we want to make sure that we can provide that support for that. Um, and then the hygiene kit and Narcan kit. This is basically will be at a location where we'll be putting these kits together, right? With the hygiene kit, mainly, stuff like razor, soap, toothbrush, deodorant, and stuff along that nature. And we put a kit together so that when we go out to these outreaches, we can give them just a packet. Um, and it's a lot easier to give those out. And then we have the Narcan kits, right? They come in a couple different ways. One type of kit is where we put in the Narcan, we put in the test strips, we put in the flyers on how to use it, right? And then CPR face shield, and just like a wristband and a sticker, just uh, to top it off. And these are usually we want to give those when we're doing trainings, and we can give them out because they're a little bigger and bulkier, and we want to give that and make it easier for people to get everything that we provide. Um, the other type of Narcan kit is more when we're giving it out in a lot at a time, right? Like at a music festival or at the night outreach, where we take the Narcan out of the box. Each box has two doses, so we take them out and put them in single doses, as you can kind of see in the picture there. And we either will put a keychain on it, like that looks like that, or we'll put a lanyard on it. That way, it's easy for them to carry, right? They're allowed in the music festival like that, and it's a little easier than if we gave them a full box, right? For those, we stamp a sticker on the back so they have ways to reach out to us, and we give them education as we give them out. When we're going out to these areas like the, you know, festivals, we're giving out a lot. So having these ready to go is very important. So we'll either do that the care kit. We can do it with partner with some clubs at the university, or thinking maybe the treatment center that I also work at, or we could even do it in right here in my office at my house. Right, we have plenty of space here where we can do that. So, or if you have any ideas, if you guys are with a student organization and you guys want to do this too, and we can do it at your school, I'll bring all stuff and we can get that going, and it'll be very appreciated. And the music festivals, right? So we're at a couple of the music festivals. Sometimes we're inside, sometimes we're outside. Either way, we do need volunteers, mostly for the outside, right? I know everybody wants to be on the inside, right? But that's we have very few spots for those. But for the outside, which we gave out way more Narcan, and we reach way more people on the outside because we get to walk around and just talk to people and give them. Exactly. The main thing we're giving out on the outside is the Narcan on the keychain or the lanyard, and test strips. And we'll also have condoms, right? So some people will take the condoms, but we will meet people as people are getting off. Let's say if we're at Ultra, as people are getting off the Metro rail, and then walking to the front of the line at Bayfront, we just walk and offer that to people as we get there, and then we get to the front of the line. There's a lot of people coming through there as well, and just letting people know that what we have and sharing that they can save a life. And it's important to let them know that it's not necessarily for them, it's to save somebody else, right? If they care about other folks, it's good to have, right? And so the closest one coming up is Ultra, but again, we do when 3 points is here, we go and as people are walking inside the entrance, we give out a lot of Narcan in the front. Rolling Loud, we did do that one as well, and we gave as people came inside as well. Um, I think they just switched that to a different city now, but if it does come back, we're going to be doing it again. And if you guys have any other um, music festivals, right, or smaller level music festivals or bigger music festivals that are in the Miami area, we want to be there and we want to be able to pass that out. And with your help, we can do that. All right. So when it comes down to when we're doing this type of work, right, we want to be safety first for our volunteers, and that will mean a number of things. But we want you guys to be always in groups, never be alone, right? Especially if we're um, doing homeless outreach or anything like that. We want you to be in groups, right? The least amount is at least two of you, right, and be in teams, so you can be together and never be in a situation when you're by yourself. I highly recommend that you never bring valuables, right? Your chains, your rings, or anything like that. Um, leave that at home, right? We don't need those, right? Um, just we don't want to have any opportunity for us to lose that or anything like that. Stay aware of your surroundings, right? Although everybody, 99.9% of the time, everybody's nice and thankful for what we're doing. Every now and then we'll see something, right? And so you want to be aware of the surroundings, make sure that you're never alone, and everything's okay. If you don't feel comfortable in any situation, you can let us know, and we will work with you to make it the safest. Or if some situations will be where it's not for you, and we're cool with that too. If you don't want to be in the homeless outreach, that's cool. You want to be the tabling, just let us know. You're gonna have a form where you could pick and choose which type of volunteering you want to do. Um, yeah, if you feel unsafe, let us know as well. If for those of you that are in recovery, right? Let's say that you are in a situation where you feel triggered, where you feel like there's drug use or alcohol use going on, and you don't feel comfortable. I completely understand. I'm in recovery myself, so we want to be best support you in any situation like that. So please let us know about that, and we can be there to support you as well. In outreach situations, particularly the homeless outreach, right? And I mean, for the most part, it goes for any time. You want to be, uh, nice and smiling. Introduce yourself by name and ask people for their name, right? Get to know them, right? Ask them, how are you doing? How's it going? How can I help you? Ask permission before sitting down with them. Ask them, hey, is it okay if I sit here with you? Is it okay if I talk to you? Remember that the tents that they're at, if they have an encampment or a tent, that's their home. So do not treat it otherwise, right? Do not park your car right in front of a tent. Do not do anything like that. Make sure you have everybody's permission before you do anything. speak at eye level, right? Try to, if you see that they're on the ground, get to their level so it doesn't look like you're talking on top of them. And listen to them, what they have to say, right? Don't cut them off, right? Some people are very talkative and want to share about things. Don't cut them off in the middle of when they're sharing. Um, do not take pictures unless you have consent from them, right? Don't just take random pictures of people and then post it. That's not cool, right? We don't do that. The only time you're gonna post or share pictures is if it's of the volunteers itself, or if you asked somebody for their permission, right? Other than that, we're not doing that. Or share their stories, right? If you've got somebody's information and their story, don't share anything unless they give you the permission. Um, don't assume that people are uh, they have a substance use disorder. Not everybody that is homeless has a substance use disorder, right? That is not true. Or a mental illness, right? Some of them do, right? But it's not everybody, right? So don't assume, and don't use any dehumanizing language, right? Don't call them drug addicts. Don't call them junkies. Don't call them anything other than their names, right? They are people, people experiencing homelessness, people um, with the substance use disorder. They're people first, right? So remember that. Don't call them out of their name, uh, right? And don't use these stigmatizing language, 100%. Um, remember, just these are simple, obvious, but you got to remember respect the tents and their personal space. Don't get into any areas that you're not allowed. Do not lend any money to anybody, right? That's not something we do. We give out items, right? So we give out whether it's food or clothes or hygiene products. That's what we could give out, and you feel comfortable doing that. Don't carry money on you or give out any money. Don't make any promises to people that says, "Hey, yeah, I'll be back next week," and then you don't have no intention of coming back, right? Just do what you can, and for the most part, we're there at that very moment, and let's do what we can at that moment, right? If you want to help somebody more than you have the ability to, reach out to a leader like myself or somebody else that's in charge. And if we need to help them with other things like trying to get them into a certain shelter or to a treatment center, um, reach out to us first, the leaders, so that we can see if we have those resources available before you make a promise that you can get them into any of these places. Um, don't shout at these areas. Don't And then avoid sudden movements. A lot of people have trauma, right? PTSD and different things. So don't get too close or touch anybody, right? Because it could trigger some of these traumas. Stay calm. If someone is escalated, right? Don't make it a big deal, right? Don't we're not trying to get aggressive and trying to fight anybody. We're trying to de-escalate every situation. If you see something like that, again, reach out to a leader if anything like that comes up. Um, and then stay away if you feel like your safety is compromised, right? We want safety for everybody, and that's our best interest. We're there to help, right? So that's definitely something. We don't want to compromise anybody's safety. All right, so fast forward to other programs that are kind of similar to the volunteering, but with the ambassador program, this is more geared towards, like students, right, that want to represent F fentanyl on a bigger level, right, than just being a volunteer. Um, you, this is basically you guys lead your own events, you guys lead your own trainings, you guys lead your own type of campaigns with our support, right? So you lead overdose prevention training and campaigns, you can host tabling, and we'll be able to support you by giving you resources and Narcan flyers. And but you remember you are representing us as well, and so you want to be able to um, follow all those things that we talked about earlier for volunteers as well. The goal here is just to provide means for more education for more people to be aware of what's going on. And as an ambassador, you're basically a member of F Fentanyl, and you're doing your own type of campaign. It's kind of like I guess a chapter type to different areas. Whether you're at FIU or UM or Miami Dade, or you're in high school, right? You can develop the ambassador program, and you could call it a chapter if you want to call it a chapter. But the goal here is for you guys to lead your own events with our guidance and our support with resources and supplies. Right, we'll be able to help you with that. So, um, and even creating online campaigns. I think that would be huge as well. Right, making your own social media and leading those campaigns with our support. Just remembering that you're representing F fentanyl, right? We don't want to give a bad light to our name. We already have a stigma attached to substance use disorder, to harm reduction, to all these things. So we want to act accordingly and be supportive in the best way we can, right? Internship, again, very similar, but this is for you guys that have certain classes or degrees that require a few hours for internship. Maybe you have to do a project at the end of it, but it's really about getting a bunch of hours that you need, and then we'll complete the surveys and anything you guys need for that. But you guys gotta have an internship already, internship class or a program that requires that, so that we can follow through with that. We've had a couple interns that came through here. They did their hours. They had to do a project, right? That they focused on themselves, right? We just provided them the hours and education and experience that they can talk about in their project, and we'll try to adhere as many hours as you can. And then, of course, you're getting your experience here, learning about recovery, learning about harm reduction, overdose prevention, right? Meeting a lot of different areas of kind of people. And then, if you guys do a good job, we'll definitely have no problem giving you a letter of recommendation and helping you guys in the future. So, if you're interested in that as well, let us know. This is the volunteer form. All volunteers as of today, right? If you volunteered with us before, still fill this out. We want to keep these records. Is basically tells us who you are, what type of volunteering you want to do, and then it has a form, to keep us on our end, all our end. Um, whether you approve of us taking pictures or you approve liability of all these things, right? You know that there's these things that can happen, and you are aware when you're volunteering with us. All right, so complete that form. Um, Pretty simple. And then this right here, the volunteer opportunities. This is going to be ever changing, right? So if you scan this, you're going to see the most up to date list of upcoming opportunities for volunteering, right? It's going to say the date, the time, the name of the event, and the type of event that it is, right? And I guess I'll put another column that says how many volunteers we need, right? So if you see something that you are interested in, take note of that event and reach out to us so we can mark you down for that event. Right. So just send us an email or a message and we'll put you down so that way you can make it to the event. If you sign up for an event and then you can't make it, let us know with time, right? Because it's important that we have somebody uh, to replace you to cover it, right? So it's a very important, right? We're limited. All right. And so if you have questions or ideas for our outreach, for events, for fundraising, um, we want to know about that, right? This is a community organization, and we do this with your help, right? Another thing that we want to do is a community advisory board. That means people from the community come together, we have a meeting, and we discuss ideas and we discuss ways we can help the community even more, right? Uh, Priority people with lived experience, family members of people that have lived experience, people that have lost, students in the similar fields of public health, social work, psychology, stuff like that. We're looking for people so we can do that advisory board. So let us know if you're interested in that as well. Um, Coming down to then some resources that you may need as we come along, right? We've come across people that may need help with substance use, treatment, or mental health treatment. These are a couple good resources. This one, mobile response team. That's a team that could come out and assess the situation if it's something escalated or somebody you feel like needs help. They can come and check it out and provide the right resources for that. Um, suicide hotline and the crisis lifeline, right? Those are self-explanatory if anybody's feeling those type of ways, including our volunteers. You can use that 988 to reach out for help. Thrivingmind.org. This is a local uh, managing entity that has a number of different organizations that provide treatment, that provide mental health treatment, detoxes, right, for kids or for adults. And for the majority of those, that's for people with low income that don't have insurance, right? And they can help with that. Treatmentatlas.org, that's more on the broader base for people that do have insurance, and you can kind of compare and pick and choose the types of treatment that you're looking for and where they're at and what type of insurance. Um, it's kind of like you know, when and where of all the treatment centers. And then the last one is peerrecoverynow.org. That um, you can find uh, the local recovery resources for all areas, right? There's organizations called recovery community organizations, and in Miami we have about three or four, but you can look that up and they'll tell you whatever resources are in the area. So those are some good resources, and I would look these up and search around before you go out into the community so you can have an idea of what it has and where everything's at. And then finally, this is our information, right? Our website, that's the email, and then our social media on Instagram is No More Dead Homies. So follow us for sure. If you have any questions, that's my personal cell phone number. So please reach out to me or text me if you have any questions. If you scan that QR, it'll take you to our link with all our resources available. And so I thank you for choosing to volunteer with us. Please remember to complete the volunteer form, right? And then check out the volunteer opportunities. So you can pick the one that you feel like is the one you like the most. So thank you, appreciate you guys, and I look forward to meeting a lot of you. Take care.